Okay, you guys, we're live.
Okay.
Best behavior.
Are we on?
Yep.
Okay. Is anybody on yet or no?
No.
0 people. I'm gonna be like squinting to try and see.
Yeah, there's people on now.
They're joining.
Oh, here we go. We have a few people on. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're gonna just wait a few minutes to see if we can get some more people to jump on. We're gonna, in the meantime, make a few cups of coffee. So go ahead and have a cup of coffee ready if you. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
We got our 2 little helpers here this morning.
Why are not 3 people on?
Well, they can see us, but we can't see them. But they can leave us messages on the side there.
Oh.
So if you are joining us, if you guys can just say hey.
Hey. Hi.
So we know who's on here with us. Oh, Mimi just said hi, Nora and Leo.
She's on?
Yeah, Mimi's watching.
Hi, Lily. Hi.
And Crystal said that she has 3 little girls watching with her.
What?
So probably Sarah, Erin, and Amy. Hi, girls.
Hi. Hi.
So if you're on with us, let us know you're watching and if you'll be cooking with us today, or baking, I should say. We're going to give a few more minutes to see if anybody else jumps on before we get started. So if you are just joining us, but you're not sure what we're doing a virtual baking class today. We're going to make an American flag cookie.
Yeah.
Since it's Memorial Day next weekend. So if you have any family or friends coming over, or if you're going to go over to a party or something, you can make this and bring it. It's a perfect Memorial Day snack.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll show you guys what we're going for today.
I want to see what we're making.
This is what we're going to attempt to make. You guys can see it. So if you have blueberries or strawberries, anything blue or red, you can decorate your cookie with.
Ooh, that's going to be yummy.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best.
Yep. So we normally always make an Easter egg cookie for Easter time.
Or a Canada cookie for Canada Day.
Right. We've made a Canada flag for Canada Day.
But we never made an American flag before.
Right. Today will be our first time trying an American flag. So that should be fun.
Right.
Right. All right. Who else do we have on here watching with us? Can you guys leave us a comment and say hey? Because I can't see who's watching. We've got Mimi and Crystal so far. Anybody else want to say hey before we get started?
We want to say hey to anybody else.
All right, we'll say hey to everybody watching.
Hey. Hi.
Oh, Cassie and Jack are watching. Not baking because Jack is napping on me. Perfect. Well, you can watch and then make it at another time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with our cookie then.
Yay! I can't wait.
So what we're gonna need, you're gonna need almond flour, some type of sweetener. I chose monk fruit sweetener. Sorry, I'll wait till that's a little bit loud right now. All right, so I chose monk fruit, but you can use xylitol, erythritol, or stevia. I think Crystal's gonna be using honey, so you can also use honey if that's all you have. Some sea salt.
And that's called salt.
And salt, yeah. Baking soda.
Yep.
Vanilla, and an egg. So gather all your ingredients and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, and you'll need butter too, butter or coconut oil. And
I want butter.
yes, we're gonna use butter in ours, or coconut oil if that's all you have. And it'll be 2 teaspoons melted. So if you wanna go ahead and start melting your 2 teaspoons of butter or coconut oil, and then you can also preheat your oven to 350. So I'll give you a minute to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get my butter melting.
Mama,
Yeah?
somebody else is on.
Somebody else is on?
Look it.
Oh, Jeff, hey, how are you doing? We're doing a virtual baking class here. So if you have all your ingredients, just come and cook with us.
Is somebody else on? Nope, not yet. What? Mama, so what are we going to make?
You know what we're making. What are we making?
Cookies.
A big giant cookie, right?
Yes.
All right, so I have my oven preheated or preheating at 350, and I've got my butter melting on the stove. That'll be ready any second. So why don't we go ahead and take our egg and we'll crack it in our bowl.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. A little egg juice.
A little egg juice.
I'll take a little egg juice.
Okay, next we're gonna do our vanilla. Here, I'll move this aside so that you guys can see our bowl better.
Ooh.
So we've got our egg in there, our butter's melting on the stove. Now we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Can I do the teaspoon?
Sure.
Me too.
I'll pour it and then you can pour it in.
Mama do it.
What is going on here?
And omelet.
Okay, I need a little help to open my vanilla.
If you need any help, just. I think you need a knife. Oh.
Technical difficulties, I can't get the vanilla open over here. Greg's trying to help me out. All right, so in the meantime, what we'll do then is I'll do, this is very hot, so be careful not to touch it, okay?
Okay.
I'll put my 2 teaspoons of melted butter in here.
Smells good.
Melted butter smells so good, doesn't it? And it tastes so good too.
Must be good if you try it alone.
All right, next we'll put our 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Mama, since you did that, can I do the vanilla?
Yep, you can pour that in. Make sure all of it gets in there.
I don't remember.
You can do the next part, okay? So next we're gonna take our whisk and we're gonna just whisk our wet ingredients together, mix them up.
Mama, can we ever try mixing it?
Sure, give it a mix.
I can smell it.
Egg juice, yeah, I know, right, Cassie? A little egg juice never hurt anybody, right?
That smells good, Mama.
Melted butter and vanilla smell so good together.
No, now can I have some? It smells so good.
Looks like we have a few more people that have hopped on. So if you're just joining us, we are baking an American flag cookie for this upcoming Memorial Day weekend. So far we've mixed our wet ingredients together, vanilla, melted butter, and an egg. Perfect. Good job, guys.
And vanilla and melted butter.
And an egg, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next we're gonna take our sweetener.
Yeah.
So if, Crystal, go ahead and add your honey, if you're using honey, to the wet mixture. We're gonna add our monk fruit sweetener next, so it's a 1/4 cup of that.
Mom, can I do that?
Yes, you can do that. So Leo, you drop that in.
Okay. That's a lot of sweetness. That's a lot.
Okay, now we're gonna make sure our sweetener's mixed in there.
Mama, that's gonna smell really good.
Yes, very good.
Look at that.
All right, next we're gonna put our sea salt and our baking soda.
Crystal was asking how much.
Just do the same amount, Crystal, for your honey. So a 1/4 cup of honey.
Move.
You can just leave that right there. All right, so next we'll do our sea salt. Nora, do you want to do that?
I do too.
You can do the baking soda. How about?
Yes.
Okay, so you do a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Make sure it's filled all the way up to the top. Perfect.
Well, now I want to do. Now that we've done our salt, we can do the baking soda, which
Yep.
is all baking.
We'll do 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda.
Yay! I'll do the baking soda. Oh, the baking soda.
Whoops. Perfect.
I bet that's gonna taste good.
Mm-hmm.
That
So then we'll get that mixed up.
I'll mix it.
Okay, you can take your turn to mix.
I'll take a turn too.
So we've got our butter, egg, sweetener, baking soda, vanilla, sea salt, and next and last is going to be our almond flour.
I'll do the almond flour with the big scoop.
I'll scoop it in there, and then you guys can, here, we'll take this out. Yeah. I'll scoop it, and then you can dump it in, okay?
Okay.
So 2½ cups of almond flour. I'm using a 1/2 cup here, so we're going to put 6 of these in there.
Whoa!
Yeah, 5.
That's a lot.
Right. So
Well, now
that's 1/2 cup.
Can I do the other one?
Yeah, you can do the next one. So this will be 1 cup.
And then can I mix it?
Yep. Got it. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Then we'll do another 1/2 cup.
Can I use this one? Can I use this one, Mama?
Yes. You can do this one. Okay, another 1/2 cup, so that's 1½ cups. I'm done through that bag, so I'm going to put into it. Okay, little taste here and there. Never hurt anybody, right? Good almond flour.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try it.
All right, so now we need two more cups.
I'm gonna try the almond flour.
Here, dump this in first.
Okay.
So there's 2 cups. So we need one last one.
Well, can we try that taste? Can we try that taste, Mama? Can we try that taste?
Dip your finger in there. A little almond flour. Always got to taste along the way, right? All right, so now we're done with all.
Now we're gonna mix it.
Yeah, go ahead and start mixing it.
I'll
And
mix it.
you'll notice that mix it very gently so it doesn't go outside the bowl, okay?
Oh.
You'll notice that okay. All right, hold on 1 second. If you're using a whisk, it'll just get all mixed up in there. So we'll use something else. Whoops. Trying to get all these little clumps out from my whisk. So what you'll notice is that it'll seem like you may have way too much flour.
Mom mix it.
But if you just keep working it, it'll eventually just turn into a nice sticky ball. And towards the end, so sometimes I will just start mixing with a spoon.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do it. Mom, I want to mix it. I want to do it.
And then eventually when it's kind of like, it starts getting crumbly and a little bit harder to mix with your spoon, then I'll just go right in with my hands and start working it with my hands and form it into a ball. Okay, so it's nice and crumbly, as you can see.
So now you go in the bowl.
Yep, so then I'm just gonna go right in there and start
Mom,
squishing it together
I mix it, Mama.
with my hands.
Well, can I mix it? Can I try mix? Can I try?
Well, see how much gets on your hands?
I want to try that. Can I?
So we have to make sure to put it all back in there. So as you can see, it's starting to get really sticky and I'm able to kind of
we
form a
want to
ball with
try
it.
it. Can we try, Mama? We want to try it.
All right, really quick, you have a turn.
And then can I have a turn?
Sticky,
Mm-hmm. My turn.
a little taste.
That's a lot. Okay, I have to like grab it.
Yeah, you can just like start going like that with your fingers. And you want to make it into a ball.
But I want to grab it.
Okay, you can grab the whole
Well,
thing.
you can taste it too. But it just will get off.
like crumbly.
Oh, taste it.
All right, let me work it into a ball, and then you can.
You love it. Taste it. I will taste it.
All right, put all the little crummies back in.
Is it the best?
So, Crystal, if yours is not as sticky, like if it's maybe a little bit too liquidy where you can't get it into a ball like this, maybe add a little bit more flour. I've never done it with honey, so I'm not sure how it will turn out.
Mama, we want to taste your
But
finger.
the end goal is that you want to have it into a nice sticky ball like this. Okay? So a nice sticky ball. Next, what we're gonna do is, if you have parchment paper, go ahead and grab 2 pieces, one for under and one for over. Cuteness. Somebody said you guys are cute.
Thank you.
And if you have a roller, like a pizza roller or baking roller or whatever, I don't know what they're called, grab that. If you don't, you can grab a water bottle, or you can just use your hands. It'll work regardless.
You gonna do it right there?
Yeah.
I need a sip of water.
All right, go have a sip of water. I'm just gonna clear the space right here.
Did you wash your hands?
All right, so I've got my ball on my parchment paper. Can you grab me another piece of parchment paper, Nora?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Is it the brown one?
Yes.
I don't know how to do.
All right, so now we're gonna start forming our rectangular flag, or if you're just making a fruit pizza, if you're not doing a flag, you can do it in a circular form or oval, whatever you want. There are no rules, you can do whatever you want. But if you're making a flag like we are, then you'll wanna start forming your rectangle. So if you don't have parchment paper, the dough is very sticky. So what I do is I'll just take some oil and I'll just spray my hands with a little bit of oil. That way the dough doesn't stick to your hands. That way you can work on it and press it down and it won't stick to your hands. So what I'm gonna do is roll it out.
Mama, can we have a turn too?
Yes, absolutely. I'll push it a little bit more down first.
Can we see you, Mama? Daddy,
Huh?
you're not in the picture. Hey, now you're smiling.
All right, so why don't you guys take a turn to roll?
Okay.
You guys are the stars of the show today.
What? You show.
You're the stars of the show.
The baking show.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Peter Pan helping us baking today. Look at, show everybody that you're Peter Pan.
Oh, we have to turn the hat around.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da-da.
All right, so Nora's doing a good job rolling out the cookie.
Well, now can I do it?
Yep, Leo can have a turn next.
I'm very strong. Me too.
If you guys have any questions about anything, just go ahead and comment with your questions. We can answer them. Hopefully whoever's baking with us today is being successful and having a good time. Perfect. So now,
This is great time making the cookie.
yes, it is a great time baking the cookie. It's so much fun,
That side.
and it's gonna be so good to eat after.
It's so great after it's done.
So you want to roll it out till it's about a 1/4 inch thick. So I've got a little ways to go. It's still a bit thick for me.
I can't wait to eat it. It's a bit thick, but you have to roll it.
Roll it out. All right, so as you can see, sort
It's a
of,
rectangle.
mine is just, well, it's kind of like a flower circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hands and just start forming it into a rectangle.
Yeah, and then we're gonna put stars on it. With your thing.
Move that out of the way so you can see.
Well, you can look all with. What can we look the round thing?
Yes, whenever I make
You look the round thing.
when I make the whipped cream, they love to lick the whisks.
Because there's so much whipped cream.
So when this goes into the oven in a few minutes here, we're gonna walk you guys through how to make whipped cream. And I should have, ahead of time, I should have offered maybe a dairy-free option, but if ever you are dairy-free, you can use coconut milk in a can. And what you'll do is you'll set it in the refrigerator overnight, the night before, so that the top of the can solidifies and all the cream rises to the top. And then you'll just scoop out the top, the really, really thick part. And that's what you would use to whip and make it into a coconut milk whipped cream.
And whisk, we whisk it. But
Right,
Mama,
so
I
I'm
like the lemon sticks, the lemon things that go in the whipped cream. Well, I do.
So I'm having to rip some of my edges
But
off
that's how you make whipped cream.
and place them in the corners to make a rectangle.
That's kind of like a rainbow.
A rainbow. There are no rules when it comes to making this cookie, so you just do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, you
Let
can.
me see if I can get a vertical
Yeah,
view.
you can whatever you want to do. Right now, they can't see me.
So like I just rip some of the pieces off of the circle, tops of the circle to make it, and I reposition them so that I can get it into more of a
Do not play.
rectangle shape. It's a lot easier making an Easter egg, I'll tell you that.
Nora, Meme says you should have your own baking show.
Do you want your own baking show, Nora?
Me. Thank you, Meme. Thank you, Meme. Thank you. Thank you.
Crystal's still mixing.
You're still mixing? Okay.
Oops.
We'll give you a few minutes then to catch up, okay? So, in the meantime,
Well, that was 4 minutes ago. So
Oh, that
maybe
was 4 minutes
maybe
ago?
maybe she's done now.
okay, well, we'll just give you another minute to catch up just in case you're still mixing or just trying to roll out right now. All right, so I think I've got a rectangle now. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be because, of course, you're going to be covering it with
Whipped cream.
whipped cream and your fruit
And berries.
and berries.
And the star cookie cutter.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll be able to use the star cookie cutter because the strawberries are not big enough. But let's say you wanted to use something like watermelon for the red in the flag, and you had like a little cookie cutter, you could use that and put that on your flag. You can get creative and do some fun stuff. Or if you even had a fruit pizza and you wanted to do different shapes on it to decorate it. So this is my rectangle. So we're just gonna
Are we going to put watermelon on it?
we're not. We're gonna put berries and bananas.
But whatever the bananas for.
Because there's white on the flag.
But the whipped cream will be white.
That's true. Like in this picture that I showed you guys, they didn't use bananas. So we don't need to use bananas. The whipped cream comes through as the white parts,
Well, Mama,
and then the strawberries are the red
Mama,
parts.
we want to use bananas.
Okay.
How about we just cut up a few bananas for you?
Okay.
So then what you'll do is you'll transfer this onto your baking sheet. So I will just transfer this right on.
And so now we're going to put it in the oven.
And then we're going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how your oven works. Some are a lot hotter than others. Some bake a lot faster than others. So I did one. Ours usually takes about 14 minutes to bake. So I will go ahead and put this in. Crystal, if you are still a little bit behind, oh, got it laid out, probably took about double the flour. Oh, really? Okay, so if you're using honey, then you'll want to double the amount of almond flour that you're using. I'm sure it's going to work out just great in the end, though.
And we have a dinosaur pool outside on the patio. And we can do later.
Yes, we got a dinosaur pool out in the yard, and they cannot wait to get out there and swim.
Yeah, because I already got my bathing suit on.
Right.
But I don't.
We already got our bathing suit on. All right, so next, while that's cooking in the oven, I put it on for 14 minutes on my timer. We're going to go ahead and do the whipped cream.
Mama, I want to Mimi if she likes my mayo.
Okay, ask Mimi.
Mimi, do you like my mayo? What should you say?
All right, baby Cleo,
What should you say, Mama?
I need to plug this in.
Nothing yet.
Oh. But
It takes a few minutes for them to type a message sometimes. Maura.
Mom,
All right, so for the whipped cream, you can either use a blender, or if you have a handheld mixer of some sort, you can use that. Oh, Mimi said, love your mayo. And for those of you who don't speak French, mayo is bathing suit.
And Meme is grandma.
And Mimi is grandma.
Mama, I can't wait till we have two grandmas.
Right. Well, you have one Mimi and one grandma. All right, so I'm going to use a handheld mixer, but if you don't have one, you can use your blender if you have that. Or you can always use a whisk and do it by hand, but that's going to take you a long time. All right. So,
Yeah, whiskers take a long time.
For this whipped cream on the cookie, we're going to do a lemon whipped cream. So however much whipped cream, I don't measure how much cream I use, but we like a nice thick layer of whipped cream on our cookies, so I'll put a lot of cream in here. If you just want a little thin layer, then you don't have to use that much.
Well, an extra whipped cream is never a bad thing.
Extra whipped cream is never a bad thing. So I would say I probably used
Half of it.
at least half, if not 3/4 of this
Pint.
pint.
Well, now mix it.
Then I just happen to have lemon flavored stevia, but if you don't have lemon flavored, just use plain stevia, or if you have maple syrup, you can do like maybe a teaspoon. Maple syrup is quite sweet too, so a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons at the
Remember
max.
when we had tea?
Tea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was sick.
Oh. So I'm going to put 10 drops. 1, 2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10. So I'll do 10 drops of lemon stevia. Then I'm going to grate
the lemon.
the lemon. So I have a handheld grater or zester. If you don't have one, you could use a cheese grater on the whatever side is the thinnest, smallest holes. And I'm going to grate the entire. I love a really lemony whipped cream. It tastes so good, especially with the fresh fruit on there and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. So
Mama, I like lemon whipped cream.
I know, lemon whipped cream is so good. So we're gonna zest the entire lemon right in here.
Mama, I don't like all those yellow lemon pieces.
You don't like?
No.
Of course you do, because you eat it all the time. Whenever we make this, I put this in here, and you love it. And that's what makes it extra lemony tasty.
And it's so good.
And so good.
So see all the yellow things in there? That's all
So
the
we have our, I don't know if you can see that, but we got our zest in there.
But I thought you said the entire lemon.
I zested the whole lemon.
The lemon skin.
So then we're gonna put the lemon juice in there too. So my juicer is in here, so I gotta go get it. Give me 1 second here. Where's the bottom half of this? Oh, it's
We just need our juicer and then we'll be ready to go. And it'll be ready to go. So first, Daddy, I can see your hat.
Huh?
Every time you go like, and then
My hat shows up.
yeah.
Somebody said, "Too cute. Love her helpers."
Who is that?
That's someone named Susan.
Susan.
What's stevia? Oh,
Somebody said what's Steve?
I don't know if this is forward or backwards, but Sweet Leaf is the brand.
All right, my lemon is huge, so I'm gonna juice. Hold on 1 second. I'm just explaining, okay? My lemon is very, very big, so I'm gonna juice half of it first. I'll give it a try and see if it's lemony enough, and I might add the other half.
I want the lemon.
Well, hold on. Let's see if we need to use it first. Okay, hold on 1 second, please. So I'm gonna juice half of my very large lemon.
She's using the lemon.
And if you don't want to do a lemon whipped cream, you don't have to. You could just do regular old whipped cream.
But you squish it? Squish it around?
To juice it? Yeah, I do squish it around.
Okay.
But we highly recommend the lemon.
So, yes.
So yummy.
And we're going to use this.
Okay, so I'm gonna pour half of my lemon juice in here.
Yep.
Then I'll just give it a quick stir.
Mama, I want to lick the lemon. I want to lick the lemon. Can you lick the lemon, Mama? I want to lick the lemon.
Hold on, please.
Okay. I'll just hold on for it.
It is lemony, but I like it extra lemony, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the other half of this lemon juice.
Mama, I want to lick it. I want to lick it, Mama.
Look at, you can lick this one. It's still lemony.
Well, now can I lick it? I want to lick it. Now can I lick it? You can have that one. But, thank you. We're licking a lemon. It's so good.
Got some pulp that went in there.
Uh-oh.
And a few seeds, so I'm just gonna get those seeds out. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and start whipping.
Yeah?
So if you've never done whipped cream before, you just use your mixer or in the blender as well. You just keep going until you can see that it's turned into whipped cream. It's not liquidy anymore.
When it comes really thick.
When it's really thick,
That's whipped cream.
that's whipped cream, and that's when you know when to stop. And if you're not careful and you keep going too long, it'll turn into like
Butter, basically.
like really clumpy and watery. So you want to be careful you don't go too long.
You keep splashing us.
Like it. I do see that. It keeps splashing you. It's splashing, isn't it?
Yeah, stop.
How's everybody doing? Are you following along? Crystal, are you at the whipped cream part yet? She's gonna hopefully type a message and we'll see where she's at.
Mama,
Wow.
I miss Piper and Penny's house.
Yeah.
I miss them.
Well, if Piper and Penny are watching, Leo just said he misses going to play at your house. And they miss, and Nora said
I
that
miss
she...
to play with the, I don't know what it's
Is
called.
it the coffee maker?
Yeah,
Or the cash register?
I miss the cat. I miss the dog.
So just give you guys an update. We're getting there. It's getting thicker, more whipped. So we're going to keep going though. It's not quite there yet.
Mama, I miss the coffee maker.
Yeah.
You miss the part of the gymnastics out there? Yeah, I do. Me too.
Lemon butter, yeah. It's going to turn into lemon butter if you whip too long. Which would be really good too, wouldn't it?
Throw those away. Please
What?
throw those away.
Yeah. I said throw them away.
All right, all done with the lemons. You can go put them in the trash.
Mama, that's we love looking at filling the garbage. Is it thick?
It's getting thicker. We're almost there.
It's turning into a cream.
So you can see it's getting there. I think we still have another minute or two, but it's getting thicker.
But we want to mix it with cream.
You will have a chance to lick whipped cream after.
It was creamer. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you have something. Okay, it's gone. Hey,
Okay, that's enough, please.
he's gone. No.
All right,
It's
so
gone.
when it gets to this point and it's nice and fluffy,
Look, here you're looking now. You want to look?
that's when you know you're almost there, you're almost there, you're almost there.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Hey. Almost there. Hey. Peter Pan. We're almost there. Woo. Hey.
Straight.
I'm making cookies. I love cookies. Cookies are delicious. Cookies are the favorite. One.
All right,
This
this is the best part for the kids. They each get a whisk to lick. Is that your favorite part? Does it taste so good? Here, I eat.
I like the lemon part.
Mhm.
I do too. You do like the lemon part?
Mhm.
Change your mind. You like it forever?
All right, let's be quiet so I can instruct people, okay?
Okay.
So we've got about 3 minutes left on our timer for the cookie in the oven. I'll give you guys another minute or so just to catch up if you guys are a little bit behind us. Next step is going to be to take your cookie out of the oven and let it cool completely before you start decorating. Because if you put whipped cream on a hot cookie, it's just gonna melt. So you really wanna make sure that it's completely cooled. So what I did is I went ahead and, excuse me, you already had some?
Hey.
Okay, all right, all done. If you lick all of the ice cream now, or not ice cream, whipped cream now, you're not gonna have any free cookie.
Right.
So I went ahead this morning and made a cookie ahead of time so that I could start decorating right away as soon as it's done. But you guys go ahead and let your cookie cool, and then probably at the end of the video, you'll be able to go ahead
And decorate it.
yes, and decorate your cookie. Because it probably takes a good 20 to 30 minutes for it to completely cool.
Can you put it in the fridge right away or no?
Put in the fridge.
I would assume
It's not hot, Mama.
right, this is the other one. So this is the one I made this morning. So you want to bake it until it's nice and golden brown.
Mama, so are we going to start decorating that one right now?
Yes, we're going to start decorating it now.
Yay!
So hold on one second. Let me just talk to them for a few more minutes. If you are, what did maybe say, Leo, nice whipping cream mustache. But I got it off already. All right, so if the original recipe, which I took from eatsmartmeals.com, which is Kim Roberto's website. She runs the nutrition department and wrote the nutrition book for Max Living. Her husband is a Max Living chiropractor, and she has amazing recipes on her website, all core and advanced plan, following all of the Max Living guidelines. So the website is eatsmartmeals.com.
I'll post it.
Mama,
Can you go grab that cookie, please?
is it ready?
The other cookie is ready. So if your cookie just went beep, 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 you can go ahead and take your cookie out and let it cool. while we start the decorating process over here. So eatsmartmeals.com. And when you look at this recipe on her website, it's just a regular sugar, quote unquote, sugar cookie recipe. And so I just took that cookie recipe and made it into this big giant, hold on one second, let me finish, okay? Made it into a big giant cookie. So you can just take little, just like you would for regular cookies, a little ball, you flatten it out and you can make, a dozen cookies or whatever. Hold on just 1 second, we're almost done. And then what you can also do is when your batter is all laid out. Okay, excuse me. Do you guys need to go play somewhere else?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, hold on 1 second, please. If you want to use cookie cutters, what you'll do is you'll lay out your batter just like we did. You'll put it in the fridge for 1 hour to let it cool. And then it'll be much easier for you to take a cookie cutter and just cut out your shapes and then put it in the oven afterwards.
Yes.
All right, so your cookie on your end is probably out of the oven by now and cooling off. We've got one that's already cooled and ready to be decorated. So what we're gonna do.
Can you help put on the whipped cream?
Yep, so we're gonna each have.
I want the purple. I want this one.
We're gonna take our whipped cream and just put it right on the cookie. You're gonna spread it out nice and even all over. And like I said, we like a nice, no, if you're just gonna eat it, then you're not gonna help. You can eat it after we're all done. We like a nice thick layer of whipped cream, so we're gonna put all our whipped cream on there. And make sure you put it in all the corners too.
Wow, our cream. There's lots of whipped cream.
There's lots of whipped cream. Make sure you stay on the cookie, okay?
Okay. We like nice and flat whipped cream.
Yeah.
Mom, looks good.
Yep, it looks good.
We like to use all of our cream. Mama, look at me.
Okay, well, lick your hand. All right, why don't you guys wash your hands, and then I will cut up the, whoops, sorry. I will cut up the strawberries so that we can start decorating it with
Remember
the fruit.
last time I wanted to cut the strawberries? Can I do that again? Mama, can you please round it on?
All right, so I'm putting a nice thick layer of whipped cream on our cookie. After this, I'm gonna start cutting up some strawberries. We went strawberry picking last weekend, so we've got some fresh strawberries right from the farm.
I need soap. Mine wants soap. That was nice and flat. Let's grab all of it.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Mom, I want to keep helping.
Flatten it out like that.
Oh, wait, no, I want mine.
All right, I think this is good. So now we're ready to start decorating. We have a few extra bites of whipped cream that we can have later.
For some more. So we have to make more whipped cream for the other cookie.
So I'll show you guys one more time the picture. I mean, of course, all of you know what an American flag looks like, but this is what we're going for today. We're gonna do lines or strawberry stripes, and we're gonna do a blueberry square in the corner.
Yep.
Where do you pick strawberries? Cassie, we went to Hunt's Strawberry Farm. It's about 10 minutes away from the office.
Yeah,
And-
it's very close.
Yes, it's very close, and it was so much fun. They are not certified organic, but they say that they do not spray anything whatsoever on their strawberries. So I'm going to take their word for it.
Mom, what's this duck for?
I don't know what that duck is for. All All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make our blueberry square
That was just
in
my
the top left-hand corner. So I will sketch out the square and then you guys can fill up the square, okay?
Okay. But Mama,
What?
are we gonna do this part too?
Yeah, I'll put the outline of the square
Okay.
and
And
then,
then
you,
we can fill it
and then
in.
you guys can fill it with the blueberries, okay?
Okay. We'll start wrapping the berries.
All right, so now you guys can put, here, I'll turn it around so it's closer. You guys fill this whole, here, put it all in the square, Leo, because we're making an American flag, right? So put them all inside the square. And I'll start cutting up some strawberries.
Well, I'll cut the strawberries with you.
How about I cut them and then you can put them on the cookie?
Yeah. They have to be in line, not just like.
Right.
That was like the Easter cookie. Oopsie doodle. I always get missing. Oh, we can use all of the blueberries. No, it's not there.
Make sure it's in the square, Leo. Put it in the square because we're making an American flag, right?
Well, we're making the American flag.
Yeah,
No,
because next weekend is Memorial Day. So this
Nope.
would be,
Nope, we're done with blueberries. We're done with the blueberries, Mama.
all right, so now we're gonna start with,
Strawberries.
all right, so here's what we're gonna do. Our first line, hey, we'll eat it if you're gonna put it in your mouth. The first line is gonna be at the top here. So let's make a line all the way down across the top. Here, we'll turn it over this way. Okay, take turns putting, here, you got it, Leo, look. You gotta put one on top of the other like that, okay, all the way down. Okay, make sure they're nice and tight together so that there's no spaces. Okay, then our next line is gonna be here. We wanna leave one red line, one white line, one red line, one white line. So now let's do this red.
Okay. This is gonna look so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. Crystal said something. Good to know we have been looking for somewhere to go that doesn't spray. Yep, so hopefully they're telling the truth, right, Cassie? But it was a great experience. Nice farm, great strawberries. Got strawberries, fresh strawberries yesterday, and they're all gone. You guys went through them all already. So we're practicing our symmetry with blueberries and kiwi since that's our lesson topic for the week.
These strawberries.
Lines of symmetry, that's great, Crystal. Like I said, there's no rules when it comes to a cookie, right? So
No, not right
we can
there.
decorate it how we want. We can use whatever fruits we want.
No, not there.
Whoever ends up baking this cookie, please take a picture and post it so we can all see your creations after. All right, so let's start our third line now. Let's leave this white. This could be white, so then we're gonna do another line down here. Leo doesn't like listening to the rules, apparently. Just put strawberries everywhere. That's okay, right?
Mama, look at you did.
Leo, follow the line, okay?
Don't just put them everywhere.
There you go. See? Following the line, right?
We ran out of strawberries.
Okay, let me cut some more. And then our last line will be down here. So let's
Mama, it's gonna be.
our last line all the way down to the bottom. Leo, can you follow the line, please?
Oh.
All the way at the bottom.
This one.
Yep.
Mama, we're helping.
Yes, you are. Is it fun to decorate a big giant cookie?
Yes, I love this. Okay, now we're done with our strawberries. Yep.
Here, Leo, put one last one right here.
Mama, it's ready.
It is
Can we
ready.
eat the rest of the strawberries?
Yes, you can eat the rest of the strawberries.
I
And maybe let's put one last little one
don't
right here. How does it look, gang?
Good.
All right, so let's show everybody how it looks in the end. What do you guys think? Did we pull it off? Did we do an American flag?
Yeah.
I think so. So when you're all done, this is what it's going to look like, or however you decide to decorate it. Like I said, please take a picture. Show us your creations. I would love to see what you guys made.
Yeah.
Or if you end up making it next week or whenever you do, I would love to see what you guys create. Just a tip, this is best eaten in the same day that you make it because of the whipped cream. It will soften the cookie quite a bit. And so the next day, it will still taste delicious, but the texture might be a little bit off. The cookie will be kind of soft and not so crunchy anymore.
Mama, can we try it now?
Yes, let's take some pictures first because you guys did such a good job, and we're gonna post it so everybody can see what you guys did.
I want to take a picture.
So I'm gonna stay on for just another minute. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and say your last minute questions here. Otherwise, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you guys say thank you?
Thank you.
Was it fun?
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Mama,
We'll do
look
this
what I
again for
did.
sure. Show everybody your picture.
This way.
Photography skills over here, Krista.
I want to show it. Can I show it, Mama?
Show what? The picture?
Yeah. I want to show this. Doesn't it look pretty good?
It looks pretty good.
No, I want to.
All right, so if nobody has any other questions, we're going to sign off.
Look, we're sending it.
Who do you want to send it to, Mimi?
Yes.
All right, Mimi, we're sending it to you. Okay, push that there, right there.
All right, everybody say bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks for